Absolute value is just a definition of something. Absolute value means a number's distance from zero. When you look at a number line, sometimes the negatives just mean a direction to the left of zero. So if we are looking at the number 3, and our question is how far from 0 is 3, our answer would be 3 units. It just happens to be to the right. If I ask again how far is negative 3 from 0, our answer would still be 3 units. It just happens to be 3 units to the left. We don't want to write what is the absolute value of, and then insert a number. We don't want to write all that out all the time. And so when we're communicating that we're looking for the absolute value of something, we use these two parallel bars as symbols that represent absolute value. It is only a notation. It is so we don't have to write all of that out. When we are asked what the absolute value of a negative 5 is, we're supposed to interpret that as how far is negative 5 from 0? Well, the answer is simply 5 units. When we're asked the absolute value of 2/3, how far away is that from 0? The answer is 2/3. Negative 85. How far away from 0 is that? It's 85 units. And 1,230. The absolute value of that is still 1,230. Sometimes kids just memorize that absolute value is just always positive. And the reason for that is that distance is always positive. Using inequality symbols to compare absolute values is straightforward. We just need to look and evaluate what the absolute values are. So for number 1, it's asking us what is the absolute value of a negative 5. Well, that's just a positive 5. And what is the absolute value or distance from 0 of 5? Well, that's also 5. So you can see these two numbers are equal. The absolute value of negative 16 is a positive 16, and the absolute value of negative 23 is a positive 23. And so this is the symbol you would use, is that the absolute value of negative 16 is less than the absolute value of negative 23. When you're asked to compare expressions like the ones down below, you use your order of operations in a way. That absolute value symbol is a grouping symbol, and we're going to evaluate what's inside of it first. And so looking at example 1, I'm going to take the absolute value of 3 plus 1. Well, 3 plus 1 is 4. And so the absolute value of 4 is 4. And as soon as you take the absolute value of 4, those bars go away. And 4 plus 4 is 8. So you've just simplified that expression. Over at number 2, the absolute value of 12 is 12, and the absolute value of negative 4 is a positive 4. And so after you've evaluated those absolute values, those bars go away, and then you simply can do 12 times 4, which is 48. So that is simplified. Here I need to work inside this grouping symbol. I have negative 6 plus 4, that's a negative 2, plus the absolute value of a negative 3. Evaluate each of those. Once you do that, the bars go away and you are left with 5.